Oh, was this the only touchdown a Broncos quarterback accounted for today? Oh no, it's a new worst game ever.
Call an ambulance! But not for me!
Haha, but not for me, mother lickers!
No, stop. It's fitting your narrative.
I know I used that last season, but it's too appropriate. It is a worst game for Bucs fans.
It's not a worst game. It's not a best game either, but he's got to do it. Otherwise, nobody will pay attention to him.
The red-hot Bucs losing to the ice-cold Broncos. Sean Payton still torturing you in Tampa. Feel hot down there in Tampa? That's because you're in hell. I watched Bo Nix take command of the Broncos offense, pass the ball efficiently, not do a Bo picks, not do a Bover throw, and the Denver defense sacked Baker Mayfield 7 times in a 26-7 win. I had a Bo-ner for 3.5 hours, and I'm not calling a doctor because I don't want this Bo-ner to ever go away. I'll buy special fucking pants if I have to hide it. I will. Do they work? Maybe I'll sell them. Get your special boner hiding pants at Benchwarmer shop. Now the Broncos didn't have a win. This complete or dominant all of last season. They defeated the Browns, sure, 29-12, and the Chargers 24-7, but that was against Easton Stick and Dorian Thompson-Robinson. They beat Baker Mayfield, who literally revived his career by embarrassing the Broncos on Christmas.
Baker gets to bake some cookies or pie, maybe.
And shout out to the Buccaneers subreddit, where they still refer to Sean Payton as shitface. That's the kind of salt I can appreciate. And for everyone telling me, sorry Perna, you're just not funny when you're not miserable, I say, you know what? If you love me when I'm down here, then please love me when I'm up here too. It's the real winners and losers from the best game ever on That's Good Sports. Not the worst, not the worst, not the worst. Whew. Subscribe, and there's 2 other great ways you can support this channel. Checking out my coffee and merch shop, Benchwarmer shop. I've got the greatest coffee on earth. You know that. We also have all of the cursed shirts now there over at benchwarmershop.com, or use my code That's Good if you sign up to play at Underdog. They've got the best daily fantasy. They got pick'em games. That code at Underdog, if we hit 10,000 signups, and we're almost at 2,000, they owe me $1 million. I didn't think it was actually possible, but after watching Bo Nix and the Broncos destroy the Buccaneers like Kevin Garnett, anything is possible! Oh! I'll stop doing that if we hit 10,000. Now I do like that the Broncos social media team is getting cocky. The very second Denver gets their first win. I mean, it also terrifies me, but a cocky social media team is a modern signal that it was a great week for your sports team. And Denver jumped out to an early 14-0 lead in the first quarter. That's the first time that's happened since Bo got to college, which, to be fair, was about 10 years ago. Now, my first winner, rookie quarterback Bo Nix. No, he didn't throw a touchdown, but he didn't throw an interception either. And he started the game by hitting 2 of his first deep passes. Left side, Sutton. Right side, Josh Reynolds. That made this game feel different from the get-go. Denver won the toss and opted for the ball. They made a statement with their best drive of the Nixon era, which was capped off by Nix rushing for the score. But not even Watergate is stopping this Nixon. And unlike last week, Bo made several nice throws that weren't set up by trick plays.
Ball coming out quickly, isn't it? Humphrey again sits down on that.
My losing throw, well, that came on the next series. Baker Mayfield didn't see Bronco safety Brandon Jones, who reads him and picks him and nearly houses it. I was pretty sure Javonte Williams scored a touchdown here, but the refs couldn't confirm it via the challenge. Even though he looks like he's in, there's no evidence to overrule their wrong call, proving that just the tip doesn't actually count if nobody sees it. Luckily, Jaleel McLaughlin, the only living member of the McLaughlin Group.
From the nation's capital, the McLaughlin Group, an unrehearsed program presenting inside opinions and forecasts on major issues of the day.
That's for all the old dads out there. Somehow weasels his way into the end zone, dancing along the sideline on a toss play that should have been a lost play. My least favorite friend was Ross. Don't forget to floss. These rhymes are now my cross to bear. Losers, Broncos fans, being so thrilled with this win that we're overlooking the fact that those were the only touchdowns Denver would score for the rest of the game. I was actually scared that Fox was airing an old Broncos-Bucks game and just saying current players' names to trick me.
They need the 2 for the first down.
Bo Nix.
End zone this.
Cortland Sutton.
Fox would do that. I was praising this beautiful team for blasting 4 more field goals through the duration of the next 3 quarters. I've been down so bad that I was thrilled to settle for field goals. I was actually forgiving my team for getting a red zone holding penalty by Garrett Bowles. Oh, vintage bowls! Not just a nice find at the thrift shop, a cute dose of nostalgia for me as a Broncos fan. That hold came after Bo Nix fired an FDR to Cortland Sutton, maybe one of his best passes of his young career. The announcers only made this noise once during those 4 field goals. But here's the other 3 with that same sound. That's the noise you make when you deal with a boner for too long. Now, I mentioned Baker Mayfield was sacked 7 times in this game. More on that in a minute. But the Buccaneers offense was stagnant, or the Broncos defense was that dominant. I watched Riley Moss break up a pass perfectly. Question, what do we call Moss if he's stopping dudes from mossing him? You got demossed? Moss killer? I don't know, but when a receiver gets demossed, you're getting a clip of a guy demossing his roof.
As you can see, I'm using a nylon brush and I'm just gently pushing the moss off with as little pressure as possible.
Until the Buccaneers finally scored, they didn't just look one-dimensional. They looked zero-dimensional. Like if Bryce Young was quarterbacking the 0-16 Browns. And the only reason Tampa didn't get negative dimensional by my winless team was a fumble by Javonte Williams in the red zone, a costly one that set up their scoring drive. And poor Javonte, who fought for extra yards, just had the ball ripped loose before his elbow hit the ground. Now, usually I berate the refs. I shill out my fuck the refs coffee over at benchwarmershop.com, but not this officiating crew. No, they weren't perfect, but I'm in no position to anger this man, this jacked ref. Oh God, that's Alan Eck with the winning workout program. He's put on some serious mass since being promoted to head ref in 2023. From fuck the refs to fuck those refs. The Buccaneers, they had one nice drive. Oh God, that feels nice to say. The opponent had one nice drive. You only had one moment of hope. You were the worst team for 57 of 60 minutes. Yeah, still got that boner. Now their flash in the pan came courtesy of rookie running back Bucky Irving, who finished the game with 70 yards on 9 carries, most coming on this one drive. Thank you to the announcer for pointing out that Bucky,
He is quicker than a hiccup.
as quick as a hiccup, a new form of speed timing, taking the league by storm. He would have had the touchdown but was tackled a yard shy, and then Baker capped that drive with as perfect of a touchdown pass as you can throw. Baker wasn't good, but this is easily the winning throw of the game. Great catch by Chris Godwin as well, with Riley Moss in coverage.
As long as you're coating the roof well, the moss is going to have an extremely hard time coming back.
But here's one more attaboy for the Bucs, okay? You are also winners of my most impressive catch in NFL history to gain 0 yards. The most impressive no-gain play I have ever seen, Tampa. Whatever this bullshit is, Rachaad White hauls it in. and I was genuinely impressed with your no gain. The second half was 90% of the Broncos defense and 5% this Bo Nix scramble to avoid a sack. A 22-yard pickup by Nix on a play that should have been a loss. Bo's quick. I'd bet he's faster than Russell Wilson right now. And knowing he can do this when needed, but also that he doesn't need to do it to succeed is cool. And with plays like that, I'm cool if he leads the team in rushing. But the other 5%, that's going to running back Tyler Badie, who was the Broncos' leading rusher, not Bo fucking Nix. We really did it, guys. We had a running back outgain Bo. Tyler had a 43-yard rip in the fourth quarter, finished the day with 70, and honestly, looks like he should get the most touches every game. Tyler is so underrated that the announcer thinks his last name is the French word for cleaning your asshole with water.
Wow, bidet!
Bidets are French, right?
The word bidet actually comes from the French word for a small horse.
Bidet!
For a small horse.
With bidet. That's bidet in motion.
For a small horse.
Badie or Badie, we gotta know.
It's Badie.
Badie, okay.
It's Badie. Everybody loves Badie.
We're bringing back a classic. Yeah, it's the Big Dick Player Award, and it's going to all of the defense. You have all of the Big Dick's defense. Just do not tell Jerry Jones.
I'm in 3-inch hair. 8.5-inch dick.
Honestly, after we dropped our Cowboys documentary this weekend, I believe he 100% actually measures players' wieners. I joke about it. Jerry lives it. John Franklin Myers, you get a sack. JFM drops a BM. He might actually need a
bidet.
Zach Allen's been the Broncos' best defensive player all season. He also dropped a BM. Baker Mayfield.
You wouldn't take paper and try to wipe this off your hands, would you?
Bidet.
Dondre Tillman in his first NFL game, 2 sacks. He was just promoted to the active roster this week after Baron Browning went to IR. And this is a dude who got to the NFL by standing out in the UFL for the Birmingham Stallions. Zach Allen had a sack. Jonathan Cooper had a sack. Nick Bonito had a sack. Devin Key, I don't even know who the fuck you are, but I love you now, had a sack. And a few of those put Tampa in 3rd and longs. The Denver defense stopped the Bucs on both of their 4th down attempts, and Riley Moss forced a fumble in desperation time as
It's gonna be tempting to brush off every bit of Moss.
Brandon Jones nearly brought it back to the house to end the game. My unhung hero going to Pat Surtain. Pat lined up with Mike Evans for most of the day, and he gave up 2 catches for 17 yards, or 8 yards on 1 reception, according to this other stat, which proves none of us really know who's supposed to do what on defense. You know, we get infatuated with corners and interceptions, right? It's an easy stat to track. But the best corners, they work quietly, in the shadows, like like an assassin. Bottom line, this game was won in dominant fashion, and I haven't said that for a long time. It feels good. It feels really good. Bo Nix got a win before Caleb Williams and put the ball in many places that weren't behind the line of scrimmage. He was so good, in fact, that I retract my statement that Bo Nix listening to Christian worship music is a sin to musicians everywhere. I retract it. Bo, if you need to listen to the sound of an actual bidet cleaning a bunghole to get you ready for football, you go ahead, young man.
Bidet!
No, stop.
I don't want to get ahead of myself, but let's just say the Broncos keep winning in dominant fashion. Would you prefer that I recap every Broncos game, even win or lose? Or should I find the actual worst game every Sunday and do that as the new worst episode? Let's just say if the Broncos turn out to be really good, because I can't call it the best game ever. Can't be the worst game if they keep winning. What do you guys want to see? Thanks for watching the best game ever. It was pretty good. I don't know about ever, but it feels like one of the best Broncos wins in a long, long time. Please subscribe here on YouTube and come back Tuesday morning for winners and losers.